Could a 5'8 player from Japan really hold his own against NBA giants? Discover the story of Yuki Kawamura, the underdog defying expectations and dominating on the court. Get the full breakdown, only here on Sports Frenzy TV. Alright, picture this. It's game time and we've got Yuki Kawamura standing at just 5'8 going up against the Chicago Bulls. Now 5'8 in the NBA? That's like bringing a pocket knife to a sword fight. And yet, this guy just put on a master class in defense. Over and over, he stopped the Bulls from scoring. 7 chances, 7 missed opportunities. It was like watching a giant get tripped up by a pebble. The Bulls had no idea what hit them. This isn't exaggeration. This actually happened. The Bulls went scoreless in 3 of their last 4 possessions, each time thanks to Kawamura's defense. But it wasn't just random luck. Kawamura is relentless. Every time the Bulls thought they had an easy path to the basket, Kawamura was there, turning their layups into a brick wall. He made the Chicago Bulls, one of the most famous basketball teams in the world, look like they were playing a pickup game against a high school team. It's incredible, right? Here's this little guy, outplaying pros who tower over him. But if we're going to talk about Yuki Kawamura, we have to talk about how he plays with zero hesitation. Standing just slightly taller than the average 8th grader, he doesn't let his size stop him from going toe-to-toe with some of the biggest players in basketball. Imagine being on the Bulls with a clear view of the basket and thinking you've got an easy shot, only for Kawamura to shut you down. He's not just there to block. He's a constant, frustrating presence for anyone with the ball. And it's not just one fluke moment either. 7 times the Bulls tried. 7 times Kawamura denied them. That's not just defense, it's a takeover. It's hard to believe unless you've seen it, but Kawamura took on professional basketball players who were, on average, a foot taller than him and way heavier. These guys should have had the upper hand, right? Bigger, stronger, faster? Not this time. Kawamura may not be the tallest or the bulkiest, but he has the skills to make up for it. His defense isn't just about blocking shots. It's about playing smart, moving fast, and staying one step ahead. You might wonder how he pulls this off. It's not like he magically grew taller overnight. Kawamura relies on his quick feet and agility. Watching him slide around screens is like watching a video game character with cheat codes. The Bulls tried setting picks, trying to shake him off and free up their shooters, but Kawamura slipped through every game, like he had a sixth sense for where they were going. And when the big players tried to post him up, well, Kawamura didn't back down an inch. He threw his whole body into it, holding his ground, which is something you rarely see from smaller defenders. But there's more to Kawamura than just speed and agility. This guy has a heart. He's diving for loose balls, reading passing lanes, and contesting every single shot like it's the finals. It's like he plays every possession as if his career depends on it. And maybe it does. The Bulls? They looked stunned. They probably thought he'd be an easy target, but Kawamura wasn't having any of it. He's got moves on offense too. There was one play where he crossed up a Bulls defender so hard, the guy almost needed new ankles. Kawamura's handle is tight, and he has that quick first step that can leave bigger defenders stuck in place. It's incredible to watch. But the crazy thing is, this story is just getting started. Kawamura's journey to the NBA isn't what you'd expect. He didn't come from a major college program, wasn't a star in the G League. Nope, he came from Japan's B League, where he built a reputation by working his way to the top. Imagine this, a 5'8 teenager tearing it up in Japan's professional league, averaging 20 points and 8 assists per game. Not just solid numbers, MVP-level numbers. He was lighting up the court in Japan, making passes that seemed impossible and leaving defenders chasing windows. But still, nobody thought he could make it to the NBA. They saw his height and dismissed him. They called him too slow, not athletic enough. All they saw were the limits, not the potential. But Kawamura didn't let the doubt get to him. In fact, he used it as a motivation. When the Olympics rolled around, he saw a chance to show the world what he was capable of. And when Japan faced France, yes, the France team packed with NBA talent, Kawamura dropped 29 points like it was nothing. Though some critics, they were silent. And here's where the story takes a turn. The Memphis Grizzlies were paying attention. They watched Kawamura schooling NBA players and realized he had something special. So they invited him to training camp. This was his moment, his shot to prove that he could belong. Kawamura went all out. He was dropping assists like Magic Johnson, threading passes that didn't seem physically possible. On defense, he was relentless, picking up players the full length of the court. The Grizzlies couldn't ignore it. Here was a guy who played with a level of energy and intensity that could change the game. So they offered him a two-way contract. This means Kawamura can play up to 50 games in the NBA this season. And just by being there, he's already making history as the first Japanese player to go straight from the B League to the NBA. This isn't just a feel-good underdog story. It's proof that heart, skill, and determination can break through any barrier. Kawamura took every reason people said he wouldn't make it, and he flipped it on its head. Now, he's not just an NBA roster. He's making teams think twice about going up against him. He's showing that height isn't everything, that size isn't the final word in basketball. When you watch a Grizzlies game, keep an eye on number 8. Kawamura isn't just there to fill a roster spot. He's rewriting what's possible. He's out there proving that it's not just about the physical, it's about how much you want it. It's about grit, determination, and the willingness to work harder than anyone else. Kawamura isn't letting his size define him. He's fighting for his dream with every play, every pass, every defensive stop. And just to make this even more impressive, let's talk about what Kawamura is up against. In the preseason, his three-point shot wasn't dropping the way it had in the Olympics. He shot only 25% from deep, a far cry from the 40% he'd managed on the international stage. If he can't find that shot, defenses will start ignoring him on the perimeter, focusing on shutting down his passing instead. The challenges don't end there. The Grizzlies already have a stacked lineup at guard. They've got Ja Morant, the highlight machine, Marcus Smart, a defensive mastermind, and Desmond Bane, who can shoot the lights out. Kawamura has to prove he deserves minutes on a team that's packed with talent. Every game he plays in the NBA is another test of his resilience. But let's not forget why this matters. Kawamura is breaking ground as the first Japanese player to go straight from the B League to the NBA. That alone is huge. It shows other players that if you have the skills and determination, you could go up against the best in the world, no matter where you're from. Sure, Kawamura still has areas to improve. He's got to work on that shooting, find ways to get his shot off against players a foot taller, and figure out how to stay effective when teams start game planning for him. But if there's one thing that we know about Kawamura, it's that he's not one to back down from a challenge. He's made a career out of proving people wrong, and he's not about to stop now. So the next time you tune into a Grizzlies game, keep an eye out for number 8. Watch the way he moves, the passes he makes, the intensity he brings to every possession. Because this isn't just basketball, it's a battle. It's Kawamura taking on giants and showing the world that heart and hustle can take you farther than anyone thinks possible. Whether he sticks around in the NBA for a season or a decade, one thing's for sure. Kawamura's journey is a ride you don't want to miss. If you're rooting for the underdog or just love a good story, hit that like button, subscribe for more stories like this, and let us know in the comments if you think Kawamura has what it takes to be an NBA staple.